everybody, this is Chris at Zenwork Reptiles. Thank you for joining me on this Wednesday video. We are a reptile community that is constantly growing. I'm learning as I go and hoping you guys learn along with me. So we're just a community of people that keep reptiles and animals. Anyways, so if you guys are new here, please consider subscribing. Also hitting that notification bell. What that notification bell does for you, it keeps you in a loop of all my upcoming videos and you can check them out. Also, if you hit that like button, what that does for me is let me know I'm doing an okay job and kind of helps me gauge which way to go on my videos. Also, all you subscribers that watch my videos religiously, I do appreciate it. You guys are amazing. I'm not just saying that, it's not idle words. All the communication you guys give me and the back and forth, I do appreciate it. I'm not just answering back to be polite. I love talking about reptiles. I like hearing other people, what they're doing. I do appreciate it. Sincerely, I do. Thank you so much. Anyways, guys, let's talk. Today I'm going to talk about where to start, how to get where you want to be breeding reptiles, especially ball pythons, because that's my forte. I breed ball pythons. I do breed other animals on a small scale. I'm planning on stepping my game up to other lizards and stuff this year, but I haven't got there yet. So let's be truthful. We all want to be Justin Kaboka. We all want to make $10,000 snakes. I want to be Miguel at Always Evolving Python. He's actually started about the same time I did. He's way ahead of me, and kudos for him. I'm not envious. I'm proud of him. It's amazing. There's Billy Rose in Canada. Love the guy. He's making amazing snakes. We all want to be there and be at that plane of existence in this reptile community, but you got to start someplace. I know where I want to be. Where I'm at is I'm happy with it, but I want to go further. It's just like weight training. I used to be really into lifting when I was young. You get to start someplace and bulk up and get to the place where you want to be. It's something that don't happen overnight. This business is something that you have to work towards. You start someplace. Unless you're already a millionaire, then you can make whatever collection you want. And this video really don't pertain to you because you've already reached that place. I do make pretty good money, but I have 4 kids and a wife and house payment, a car payment. So I have to take my money and started this business, and I wanted to find a way to maintain my hobby. That's what I started out as, is a way to maintain my hobby and not cost anything. Now I've gone to the place where I want to move on and to do this full time, and that's my goal now. But everybody wants to be a Michael Jordan, but you gotta start someplace, and that's where we are now. Me personally, I started out with normal gene females, and I started out with a banana inchy male. I'll show you him here in a minute. The male I got actually wasn't really planned. I wanted a female from Destiny Reptiles. He's a pretty cool guy. I bought one from him. Actually, at the time, I put him on layaway because it was a pretty expensive snake. But he had a Christmas special. If you buy one, you get one free. And he gave me the banana inchy. And at the time, I really didn't want a male because I was still building up my female collection. So that was my first male. And actually, the first one I bred. And that's very, compared to some people, that's very low key. That's very basic. But, I had good luck. A lot of them became bananas. Had some just inchies. And at the time, I was selling them for about $300 a piece. Now they're a little bit less because at the time now they're kind of getting more popular. But banana is still a great morph to start out with. Let me go grab them real quick. This right here is Thatcher. He's my little male. He's actually my first male I ever owned, kind of for quite a while, and he is pretty small. He only feeds on mice, and so I feed him about every 2 to 3 weeks. He doesn't grow very fast. He is big enough to breed. He's actually the one that started most of my colony, started making money for me. I've moved on to some other stuff, but when I started out, this is what I did. This is what I started out with. And he's been really doing well for me. Like I said, I don't use him very much anymore. But when you're first starting out, I recommend getting some cheaper morphs that actually sell real good. And Here it's coming out now. Bananas sell really good. I mean, they do really well, especially in the local market, at shows, at like around here, around town. It's because it's really a really pretty snake, low cost, and it makes a really great pet snake. Obviously, if you're a ball python breeder and you want to get to the higher end level, which I haven't hit yet, I'm watching some of the $10,000 snakes and different things that people like. I just watched a video with Miguel that he's purchasing and buying. I mean, I want to get there, but I'm not there. This is what I started out with. Humble beginnings, just a banana inchy, and I've worked my way up. Obviously, I'm not where I want to be. I still have a lot of normals. I still have a lot of basic genes. I do have some that are, I guess, mid-range, lower mid-range snakes, but I'm working my way up there. So, you know, I tell you about these videos that I'm doing and how about making it. Every day is a work for me too. I'm not there. I may be further along than some of you guys, and some of you guys are maybe further along than me. It's an everyday process. Every year I get more snakes. I get, you know, it gets better and better. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. Now, if you're filthy rich, then you know that can work for you. I make a good salary, but I'm not filthy rich, and I'm working my way up to where I want to be. I started with this guy, some normals. I started with this guy and some normals, worked myself up. I got some stuff I'm working on now. I'm starting to breed clowns. I'm starting to breed clowns. I'm breeding ultra male. Getting into a lot of ghost. I really like ghost projects. Also, really getting into desert ghost. I have on my way, hopefully, I got some sunsets. I'm going to deal with a guy and I'm supposed to get them. But see, I just ordered some more snakes, and I got me some super pastels because I got some males I want to put with them. I want to make sure they have pastel in them. So I'm still getting a lot of snakes that are, I guess you consider on the lower end. Because right now, at this point in time, my goal is to just make money. I mean, make money. I'm not trying to say I'm doing this for just money, but my goal is to make beautiful snakes that are for the pet area at this point in time. Now, I want to be like Miguel. I want to be like Justin Kaboka. I mean, but you don't do it overnight. You have to work and work. Every year, your snakes get better. Every year, you get more snakes you want. And, you know, you can get to the place where you can start selling them off and getting better snakes. That's how everybody does it. I mean, that's how it is. And it's just something that you have to work towards. And so that's why I always say that if you don't love this, it's not going to work out for you, because it's definitely a passion of love, because you have to slowly build your collection and build a better collection. Like I said, I don't use this guy anymore that much because I've already got better males. I will never get rid of this guy because he's part of my collection. He helped me get to where I am, and when I get to where I want to be, I'll still keep him because this reminds me of my humble beginnings of where I started out. And I still have the normal that I bred him with when my first breeding that I've ever done. When you're first starting out, me personally, you should try, even if you're not trying to make it like I am full time, you're trying to just to make a hobby and find a way to pay for this and get further along. Get some snakes like the banana, the bamboo. There's a lot of list of ones that they sell really good as single genes. They have a decent price tag, anywhere from about $200 to $500, depends on how many genes you get in there. It's really good for starting out with. It'll pay for what you put in there. You usually get most of it back when you first start, or at least after the first year. The first year I didn't really make anything at all. The second year I kind of got some stuff paid back. I didn't quite make it to where I'm paid back completely. The third year I paid everything I paid for it. I pretty much paid back, and then I upgraded some racks. Last year I made a little bit of money, but I pretty much turned it back into, I did make a profit, but I did turn it back into my snakes. Got some more snakes. Hopefully here in the next about a month, I'm getting another rat breeding rack from Freedom Breeder. So even though I've made money, I put most of it back into the business. And I could have took it away and kept my snakes where they were, kept them at the same thing, but I want to slowly bring in more snakes and get better and better quality. That's just the goal. At this point in time, it is a hobby for me, but I do want to make it full-time. But it is something that's not going to happen overnight. And that's what, like I said before, I just said this again, I'm repeating myself, that if you don't love this, it's going to be really hard for you, because it's not like something you can just quit your job today and plan on making tons of money. Now, maybe after you start it, maybe 5-6 years down the road, you can do that. But see what I'm saying? It's something that, it's a hobby that turns into a full-time job. It can. Another thing I can tell you is, if you're planning on this for a hobby, is find other ways of making money. This way can definitely make you money, but it takes longer. I found, breeding rats. You can watch other videos where I've bred rats. It's another way I've supplemented my income for reptiles. It brings me in money. I'll tell you the truth though, I could probably make, at this point in time, I can make just as much working for part-time here in Washington, but Washington, the minimum wage is $15 an hour. So I make about equivalent of $15 an hour part-time selling rats. But I do have people that are planning on buying more rats from me, and it's gonna get more and more. But this time I'm only making about $18,000 a year, which sounds like a lot. I mean, it sounds like a lot of money, but here in Washington it's not. I can make $15 an hour flipping burgers. So, but you gotta find other ways of supplementing your income. We do rats. We do lots of different things just to try to keep more money. We sell pet rats. We try to get some of the different fancier colors and sell fancy rats. I've sold some of my other pets. They're not like as big as my ball pythons. I sold some California kings. I've sold some spotted pythons, some children's, things like that. They're not. I don't have tons of them, but I have like a couple. Most of the way I keep my ratio is I have 2 females and 1 male, so I can breed them. They're not fancy ones. They're not like the really cool morphs. All they are just your basic ones. I do sell them around here just to get some extra money. What I'm trying to say is you just gotta come up with some different ways and creative ways to supplement your income if you want the hobby to pay for itself, especially if you want to do this full-time down the road. Eventually your snakes will pay for themselves, but that's not gonna happen overnight. It's something you have to grow to. There's people that's been doing this a lot longer than me, and they're kind of getting to the place where they're doing it full-time. I've been watching Chris Hardwick for years now, and he just recently quit his daytime job and doing this full-time. He does it with his snakes, YouTube, and different things. So what I'm trying to say is it's hard work, but if you love it, it's worth it, and you'll love doing it. And it can be done, definitely. You can become full-time doing this, or you can definitely pay for your hobby so it don't cost nothing. It's possible, and like I've told you before in other videos, I'm planning on doing it at the end of the year. Hopefully I can do this full-time. If not, I might have 1 more year left doing it, working. But it doesn't upset me, because this is something I enjoy. Even if I didn't make 1 penny from this, I would still dump my money into it. But I prefer doing this full-time, and also I prefer for my hobby to pay for itself. I just started breeding dubia roaches. I have about 5 bins down there breeding, something I'll show a video about later on. I'm not sure how it's going to work out for me. I've been breeding them for my monitors, just because it's cheaper, because I don't know if you ever priced them, they're not cheap. So I had 1 bin going because they're worth a lot of money. They're pretty expensive. And so I'm just trying to think of creative ways to become full-time, but also to pay for my hobby. So the reason why I showed you this guy is that the banana is kind of a weird gene, because if you know anything about them, the way the female-male gene works in this. But it's a really nice animal. Most people that want pets don't care if it's a male or a female, they just want a pet. Some people do want a female because it's a little bit bigger. But this is really good in the pet industry, and this is not gonna be a downer, but when you're first starting out, it's really hard to be Justin Kaboka the first couple of months doing this. So that's what I'm saying, like this can get you some money to get some more snakes, get some more equipment. When I first started out, I started out with homemade racks. I'm still using homemade rat racks. I'm not saying they don't work, but once you try an ARS rack or a Freedom Breeder rack for your snakes, it's hard to go back because they're so much easier to use. It shaves so much time off of your job of doing it. So much easier to clean, so much easier to keep the humidity up, so much easier to do everything, to water, to feed. It makes life so much easier. Now, I'm not downtrodden anybody that uses a homemade or like even the PVC ones. You gotta do what you gotta do. We've all been there. I was just lucky enough to get ARS racks fast, and I'm grateful for it. And that's why I said I want to get that Freedom Breeder rat rack because it just makes life so much easier. I mean, the other ones work just fine. I bred them in those cages, in the homemade ones, just fine. The only benefit I'll tell you right now is they take up less space, and they are so much easier to clean and everything. They make life easier. So, but when you're first starting out, hard work, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with working hard for what you love to do. Anyways, guys, well, if you wouldn't mind, check out some of my videos right here. Also, hit that subscribe button, guys. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I'm on track right now. So thank you so much for that. You guys are awesome. I do appreciate you guys supporting me, watching my videos, and listening to me rant. I'll see you next time.